so great about our Thursday calls is that it's one of those great little podcasts, that you can listen to if you don't have time to actually sit down and watch it. Great, great podcast. So if you're doing something, if you're driving, you're able to then listen to our conversation a lot of times on Thursdays. And then, with us taping it, then you're able to hear it over and over again if you missed something or you wanted to understand exactly what we were talking about, what point someone was making, a quote someone said, and you wanted to remember or go back and write it down or listen to it enough so you can then start quoting it yourself. That's what's so great about our calls. So again, this is our Thursday mastermind call, and I use day because we have people calling in throughout the United States, which is exciting, and everybody's on a different time zone. So you can chime in if you're at work and you just want to listen to us, if you're taking the baby for the walk and you just want to listen to us, if you're cleaning the house or doing whatever you do on a Thursday, you're able to then kind of chime in and listen to us. So I should call that our Thursday podcast, because that's, to me, exactly what this is. I know we have some people who have the option to log on and do Zoom, and that's great because you're actually being seen, but we still have that option. If you can't see it, you can listen to it. And that's becoming pretty much part of what's really Zooming right now. I remember, oh my goodness, it was back maybe 5 years ago. I think it was 5 years ago. I wanted to start a podcast, and I did start it right after that, and it was Let's Talk with Brenda. And I don't know, I kind of produced and uploaded maybe 2 or 3 conversations I had. But what was interesting is I was just talking. There was nobody there. I was just talking, giving my opinion on this and that. And, you look at all the different podcasts that are going on now today and how that's such a hot thing. You have people with their big mics sitting down on a chair and talking and having conversations. And now they're having, thousands and thousands of viewers. And I'm like, wow, I wonder how many viewers I could have had if I continued on, 5 years later, doing at least 1 or 2 a day. How many viewers would I have right about now? Who would really want to hear? How many people, not who, I know people would, but how many people would want to hear my opinion and listen to me talk about different things? But that's what's so great about the world we live in right now and the time that we're living in, because you're able to pick up and move and do different things now. Today can be the first day of the rest of your life. It's really up to you to make the decision that I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this change. I'm going to start doing this now. And when you make that decision to do it, that's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. And I was talking to Rick this morning, and we were going back and forth what ideas, and he was like, we need to do this, we need to do that. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And then I remember what Coach said for all of us that was at the Jamaican International Convention that we had maybe in 2003. Time just goes by so fast. 2003, 2022, I'm not quite sure, but I know it was that recent. And Coach was in a wheelchair, and with his wife, family, everybody was there. But he got up and he talked to us. And one thing he said, it would have been great if somebody filmed this, if they have it somewhere. But one thing he said,
Hey, honey, that wasn't 2003. That was just a year ago or so, maybe last year.
Well, yeah, last year was 2023.
I thought you said 2003.
She did, but
oh,
it was actually March of 2023.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, March of 2023. And yes, Chantal, you were there, and it was so powerful. And I would love for everybody who attended, if you want to share on what that speech that came from him did for you, because one thing I remembered, and Rick repeated it to me today, was that don't wait. You know what I mean? Don't wait. And Rick said he remembered him saying, because there'll come a point when the telephone will not ring, you know, and you won't be doing the things that you can do now. So you can still walk around, you can still get around, your faculties are still somewhat sharp, right? But you are able to do things. So don't wait. If there's things you want to do, go ahead and do it now. Don't wait until, you know, you're sitting back thinking about yesteryear and how I wish I had the strength or the mental capacity to do this and to do that. Right now, we're still young. And if you think about it, when Coach started the fourth quarter, I think he was right around like 64, 65, something like that, when he actually started YTB, you know. So he had already launched a successful business with Frank and Scott, and so they left it with Frank, and him and Scott with Kim Sorensen decided to take on this new adventure back in 2000, you know, so 2000, when things were just getting ready to pop off. And so they decided to do that, and it was great because then we were able to join in 6 years, I think it was 4 or 6 years later, Rick and I were able to join in, and it just started booming, booming, booming. So I say all that to say, don't wait. I mean, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting till something happened? And, you know, a lot of times people say yesterday or someday. That's the quote everybody always uses all the time. Oh, yes, someday I'm going to do this. Someday I'm going to do this. Well, someday is every day. You know, every day has the word day after it. So you want to make sure your someday is today. And don't put off today. Don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. Now, I just got off the phone with my son. I'm so proud of this kid. Of course, he's my first, no, he's not my firstborn, but he's my only son. And I'm so proud of him and the moves he's making. And he's not even 35 yet. And he's already purchased 2 homes, getting ready to buy another house. I mean, this guy, he's just doing things. He's living his life. He's not putting off for tomorrow what he can do today. And as I look at him grow with his family and how he's bringing everything together, and I love the fact that he always calls me. We always talk numbers and strategies, and you know, and his wife even said, "I'm so glad you like to talk numbers with Cameron, because I'm not really a numbers person." So I'm quite sure after a while she's like, "Okay, how many times are we going to go over this strategy? How many times are we going to go over your analysis on how we should do this finances and this spreadsheet?" Because both of us like numbers like that. And so I enjoy talking to him about, okay, I'm going to buy this house, and I'm going to pay this off, and I'm going to do that. Just doing it and not putting off what he can do now. And I think what we should take from Coach and what we got from that meeting, wait. Don't wait. I mean, if there's something that you want to do it now. Get it done. You know, don't procrastinate, because you still have so much life ahead of you. So you want to make sure that you do it now. Anybody else was at that international convention in Jamaica that actually heard Coach, that something moved for you that I didn't mention?
I don't know. Hey, leaders, how you could be in that room and not be moved. And I remember we had shared some of the footage out on Facebook, and some of the leaders that were in our company were so moved when they saw Coach. They couldn't contain themselves, and they were inboxing us, and they're like, we got our Coach. Because once you've been with Coach, we're one of Coach's 10,000 families, and once you have been under his tutelage, under his mentorship, with him building the legacy of his vision, you're family. And so, yeah, it was very impactful. And we were sitting literally right behind the founders and their families. We were right there, right behind. I was sitting directly behind Dr. Coakley, and then Scott Tomer was right in front of Glenn. It was one of those moments that you were literally looking at your future, what all this has represented from 2007 to 2024 and going forward in the legacy of now our generations and building in our children. It was absolutely, I'm gonna say this to that. You have opportunities to be in front of your leaders, get there. Find a way. Find a way, because this moment that we're doing right here, we're not going to see this tomorrow. This is the moment. So we made a lot. When I tell you, we have made some serious sacrifices. Whoa, I'm just saying, it was very sacrificial to get to some of these events. And we made a decision that, you know what? We are going to be in the room with that leader right there, because that was our heartbeat. His heart was our heart. And we were in step with what he was bringing to the world, and it just fired us up. So back to you, Rick and Brenda.
Gotta remember to get off of mute. That is so, so true. I mean, you just cannot duplicate that again. It was so moving. Just listening to him talk about making sure you don't wait. I think if I got anything from sitting there and listening to Coach, it was like, don't wait. Waiting for time is going by, days are moving, and you want to make sure that you're moving too. I know for me, I get up now, I have my little routine that I do, and sometimes I get up and the last thing I feel like doing is moving. I mean, that's the last thing I feel like doing is moving. I could easily sit at my desk and figure out something else to do, but I do it. And I push through it and I move, and, and I'm able to get whatever in I need to do. And then I have a quick breakfast, and then I get my vitamins. And so then I'm moving, and I feel so much better. And then, so you got to make sure you're moving. And last night we went out to watch the Temptation, and I forget who the other band was. Was it the OJs? I don't know who it was. It was the Temptations, and who was that? I know I wished it was the Commodores, but it wasn't.
Four
It
Tops.
was somebody.
Four Tops.
Was Four Tops. Okay, that was, yeah. So we saw the Temptations and the Four Tops last night. Great. They did a great performance.
Benny, you know you're funny.
Really... Why?
Dancing in the moonlight.
Why? Why am I funny?
I said dancing in the moonlight.
No, because you were saying like, why didn't they sing? I said, that's the Commodores.
Oh, I know. That's why I said I know it was not the Commodores, because I wanted to hear. I said, why didn't they sing?
Dancing in the
Moonlight.
Moonlight.
Why didn't they sing Dancing in the Moonlight? Or why didn't they sing Brick House, right? And Rick's like, hey, that's the Commodores. So I started to laugh. I went, oh, well, whatever. All those bands back in the day and what they sang. But I say all that to say we had a great time. But the young man up on the stage was turning 83 years old at the end of this month. And I don't know if he's the original or the second
he was the
of
founder
the original.
of the Temptations.
Yes.
He was the founder, turning 83 years old. And he was moving. He was keeping up with the guys. And then, of course, he had one time where he said, I'm tired, I'm going to sit down. And they used that time to everybody drink water, kind of wipe the sweat or whatever. And that's when he shared with us his age. And after he shared his age, I was like, I pretty much watched him the whole time, all night. He was in step. He didn't miss a beat, and that's because he's continuing to move. He's continuing to move, and he's not just kind of sitting around and watching the grass grow. We have to remember to constantly be moving, constantly be doing things to keep the joints moving. And so I thought that was, watching him, I was like, oh my goodness. And then my father, who's 85, And we keep asking him, when are you going to retire? You know, because he has a construction company. That's the last thing he's thinking about is retiring. Every time he turns, we turn around, his wife's like, your dad bid on another contract, so we got another contract coming in, you know. And so, but he's moving. And at first I thought, Pops, I'm going to tell my Pops he needs to retire. He needs to travel. Well, he's not a really big traveler, but he's moving. And somebody wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, talking this morning, you know, we kind of went off in this direction on how we in Surge, and we've been in this business for a while, and we're rehearsing skill sets. Glenn talks about it, 10,000 hours, you know, to create a skill set where you actually become professional in that particular area because you've been doing it for so long. And just thinking about the skill sets that we're creating and rehearsing and refining in Surge 365. Don't miss that opportunity. You know, don't miss the opportunity to learn what Surge is all about, learn what the travel agency is all about, if that's your thing, learn what the membership is all about, learn what the Vortex is all about, learn what the marketing side, the SBA side of Surge is all about, and just learning how to communicate with people, learning how to receive no's, learning how to have the courage to press through, how to work hard, how to invest your time. You know, those are the skill sets that we have an opportunity to acquire in Surge 365. Something as simple as learning how to send out an email, how to respond to a text, you know, something that we would think is just pretty straightforward and easy, but learning how to do that, embracing how to do that. And the reason I say that, when Brendan and I was talking this morning, and all of these different groups that I'm supporting outside of Surge that want those skill sets that I'm sharing with you now, that I really acquired in Surge and of course in my career and different things, but refined in Surge, how to deal with people, you know, how to communicate with people, how to send out an email, how to send out a text. Those are valuable skill sets. And so when Brendan and I was talking about it this morning, and all the people that I'm supporting, that she's supporting, you know, I was there. She laughed at me. I was brushing my teeth this morning, and then all of a sudden I walk in, and she's in the kitchen with a toothbrush and a mouthful of toothpaste. She said, "What?
You don't have to share everything."
And I told her, I said, "Well, you guys got an idea." I said, "We need to start a business, you know." And I said, "Well, let's call it, you know, Rick Reese and Associates." "Well, I'm in it too." "Okay, R&B." "No, RBR," or what is it? RBR, Rick and Brendan Reese and Associates. Because the phone is ringing. People are desiring the skill sets that we on this phone are rehearsing, you know, whether it be for community, whether it be for ministry, whether it be for business, even beyond Surge. You know, understand that you're working for something bigger than just Surge. This is life, you know, and we're engaged in life. And so the idea said, okay, let's get our own EIN, you know, let's start an actual business so that, you know, people can pay us to this account. And beyond Surge, of course, we're getting Surge checks in all the time and residual income. But this is a moment for all of us in time, you know, in our prime time, you know, to build something generationally.
Rick,
Go right ahead.
Rick, first of all, I want to thank you. I just got a chance to take a quick look at the new format of the Go Team Get website, and that's, of course, how I found to get on the meeting today. I had to go search for it because it changed, and where you go to get it, if you didn't know it was there on the other side, and look for or show more, and that's where the sign up for the webinars and training for, obviously, for people that are members. And because the other, or previously, it was in a different position. But you know, it's so exciting. You are doing exactly what you're saying. You've been that. I mean, when you talk about Marketplace Ministries, talked about the Go Team Get website previously, when you used to hold meetings in Colorado Springs, you've been doing this by example, leading and allowing people to absorb and learn from what you shared. There's no way that Lynn and I could be where we're at. And we haven't reached the levels of recognition in the business that we would like when it's happening. It is exploding. It is exploding right now for us. And we anticipate to be among the award winners and recognized, not because for our greatness for us, so that we know that what we've done and we've proven that what you've trained us to be and do. And we're so grateful for that. We've always considered it a privilege to be on this team. And we're thankful. And it's so exciting, the examples that you continue to set. And because the doors are opening for us in amazing ways, this Saturday we are actually representing the Hope Collection, and I'm the president of the 501c3 nonprofit. We're having a live radio exposition at a large restaurant. We have a booth with, I got banners for the Hope Collection. We're promoting the Cambridge Financial Program. And then I've got a certified dietitian and nutritionist, Beth, who's on our radio show that she holds. Linda hosts on Wednesday. She's coming to that, and we're going to be thousands of people. Plus, we have advertising radio spots that are going out as we speak, then live interviews during the actual event, and then post show, we're going to have more advertising. We've got brochures and programs that we've got to put out. These are things you taught us to be examples, to make a difference, to make an impact in our community. And I'm most excited about this particular one because we've been working to actually reach out through the WFO radio. And that in itself is a neat story. It's right now across the street. The founding of this radio station is right across from the Underground Railroad where Harriet Tubman hid the slaves before they went across the Niagara River to get free in Canada. And so it's a historical spot. Next door to the radio station is the original Colored Musicians Club, where in the beginning of the century, if a black man or a woman wanted to be in entertainment, they had to get a union card. The only place in the United States, anywhere, that you could get this union card was the Colored Musicians Club that's right next to the radio station that we're going to be at, and who is producing this program on Saturday. So we had an opportunity to step in and be a part of this. Thanks to Dale Martin, who is a kind of an associate of ours. He's a customer too, great client for travel. And we've just been privileged and blessed to be able to have all this that you brought into our life. And everybody else here, I'm looking at Darlene's, I see Chantel and Glenn are always here. All you folks have just had such an impact in our life. I just want to say thank you.
Ron, I think that's awesome.
All righty.
I think
Yes,
that's
that is
awesome.
awesome.
And that's beyond search. That's engaging in life. And that's what the point I want to get across to folks is that who you are is beyond search. When you engage in life, with the skill sets and just serving, others and are willing to put yourself out there, you expand the business at the same time. Now, Ron's going to go to this expo next week and this Saturday, and he's going to meet so many people. Now, Ron, there is going to be somebody that's going to ask him something about travel. And there you go again. He builds his business through service and serving other people. That's how this thing works. Little did I know in learning how to build a website. And thank you if you haven't been to the Team Get website, it really is good. And because now it breaks it down by product where you can look at the membership, understand the membership, look at the vortex, understand the vortex, look at the travel agency, understand the travel agency. It's not all merged together. It's all separate. Look at the compensation and watch that video, and it'll tell you for the compensation, just don't get too far ahead of yourself. Complete that fast start team with 5, at least 2 personally sponsored. People coming in, get a training bonus, 500, you made your money back. It launches you into your team builder. And your 3 and free, made your money back, sitting pretty. Your monthly fee, $19 a month, right? Because now you're 3 and free, you made your $500 back. Now you're in team builder. Everything launches automatically in team builder once you complete that fast start team. Now take that team builder, build it deep, build it wide, however you want to build it, because every 7 is $1,000 bonus. Now, if you personally bring somebody in, you make $100 commission, and of course, residual income. But every 7 team builder sales, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000. Every 100 team builder sales, and this goes down through infinity. No time period, no nothing. Every 100, $10,000. You do 100 within what is it? What time period is that for 100?
Isn't it 100 days?
In 100 days, you do 100. In 100 days, that's $25,000. And you get the chance to do it again. They say it's like $62,000. But you keep it simple. But when you watch that video on the compensation, I cut it to just get you the team builder and the 1,000 and 100. So it doesn't cover director and all that. You can watch the full video. I think I have a link. You can watch the full video, but it just cuts it right there. So the website breaks everything out where you can look at each one of these products that we have. And the whole intent was to show you there is nothing out there that even comes close to what we have in Search 365. Planet Net, they've got the travel agency and teletravel. They don't have the membership, travel wholesale instead of retail. They don't have the Vortex. They don't have the incredible compensation plan, travel gig. I'm not really sure what they have, but they don't come close. Nobody has the Vortex. That's a creation of Search 365. And we have all this packaged together, over 32 streams of income, 32 plus streams of income. So now a person can come in and say, I want to focus on the travel agency, and within the travel agency, special needs travel. I want to take as many courses that I can regarding special needs travel. Or I want to be a cruise specialist. Or I want to be a wedding destination specialist. That's the travel agency. Or a person may come in and say, don't bother me with any business. I just want to use the membership and the concierge service to travel wholesale instead of retail and to write it off on my taxes. Always talk to your tax consultant, we always say. Some person may come in and say, I don't like network marketing. I'm just going to use the Vortex and give it out to friends and family and it go viral. People can book themselves. I'm making money now like Expedia. They book on my Vortex and it saves them up to 60%. Cruises, hotels, and car rentals. Airlines are competitively priced, but it saves them money and I earn 100% of what they save. I just want that happening in the background. Another person may say, well, I'm working with people that don't like to sign their names or nothing to open up accounts on booking engines. So I gave them my consumer-facing Travmanity website so they can book. It's powered now by Fairbuzz. Great rates. They can book, they can get their passports and their visas. They don't have to sign in for any accounts. And guess what? I earn a commission on everything. And so we've got this whole big picture. So the purpose of the website was to lay all of that out so that there is no doubt and no confusion. But the reason why I was saying that, in addition to explaining the website, was little did I know in learning how to actually create a GoDaddy website that I would be using that to help this guy launch his other business, Strategic Planner Group, strategicplannergroup.com. And this other person that's going to be doing this. Little did I know all the things that I'm rehearsing in Search 365 is helping me go into the community. It's helping me go into ministry. And that's what Brenda and I was talking about this morning as I was brushing my teeth. And the idea came, we need to get an EIN so these folks can pay us. Because now everybody's requiring these services. Rebuild the Gulf Coast, all of this stuff. I say that to say we're on the right track. You're on the right track, but understand the track that you're on is leading to your future, is leading to wealth in your future, and you're choosing the path. And so when we was listening to Coach, and he was talking about how the phone doesn't ring like it used to, he doesn't have another meeting to go to. All he's doing is sitting there and just his memories and working with his memories and understanding the good times, understanding the river house, understanding launching the previous company and the Statue of Liberty. But his phone, understanding going door to door and selling tomatoes. Yeah. He's rehearsing all the things that happen. We are going to get to that point at some point in our lives. But while it's day, back to you, Brenda.
Hey, Rick.
Yes, go
Wait a
ahead.
minute, I got an echo going here. Yeah, that website that you revamped is outstanding. And we shared that out. But I just wanted to say that I went in there and just looked, and I did find that video of Coach in Jamaica, his speech. So I'll find a way to share that. I think that was, yeah, I'll find a way to share that out with everybody because we were strategically placed. Rick and Brenda sat us in the first two seats on the second row, right behind the founders. So how could I not record? That's why I was put there. So I'll find a way to share that video with the team.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can go to your face because you have it uploaded to Facebook, right?
I know I've got it in my saved videos. I'll check Facebook. If it's over there, then I can share it from there.
Because what you can do is you can, you want to download it, you can download it to your computer. So, where you have it on Facebook, I think if you click on it, it'll give you the option to I was trying to download it, but since it's your video, I couldn't. But you'll see where download, HD, format, and then you can download it to your computer. And then from your computer, you can send it out. I want you to send that to me as an email.
Okay, we'll do that. I'm on my phone right now, but I'll get that laptop and perform that.
Yeah, and go to Facebook where you have it, and then you can download it from Facebook to your computer, and then you could put it as an attachment. I was going to call you and walk you through it, and put it as an attachment, and then you can send it to me, and I'll have it to put somewhere. So I'm like, I got it. This is historical. I'm like, this got to be.
You could put it with the handing off the baton. You could put it with something like that.
Yeah,
it is a good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would love to see it again.
Lord have mercy. At some point, we're going to look back at that. And
Wow.
and we're gonna write down what Glenn and Chantel had to fight through to get to that convention so that at least Glenn could be on that stage and give that last salute to Coach. Back to you, Brendan.
And all those, Chantel took them.
And I was, when Rick was sharing that last week and he got emotional and the rest of us did too, because if you get too deep, you will be there. So we're going to skip that. But right now, think about this. When he started YTV, he was the age a lot of us are right now or coming into.
Yeah.
Hello?
Come on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Is anybody here that's really listening and hearing? He said, don't miss this. But get this right here. And I'm seeing Coach walking through that room. I'm seeing when they brought him in and everybody was just roaring. I saw Jeannie run across the room. I mean, he just messed us up. But I think we kind of had a feeling that Coach was we knew he was going to be present for some reason. We just knew. Coach was going to be in that room. But when he walked in that room and we actually laid our eyeballs on him, we were so done. And Glenn has a lot more recordings in his phone than he does on that computer. Believe it. So do I. That I'm going to go and look in mine because I know I erased at least one because I was saying you need to erase some of that. But there's a lot of footage and some of it is really personal. I'm not going to share that part. There are some places where I don't want them to see our coach in, unnecessary. But the intimacy of that conversation that he shared, and then our heads, there's pictures when you could literally see Coach, Dr. Coakley, Chris, Scott, their wives sitting. It was like phenomenal. And this is the piece that you must get today. You must get this. The legacy of the generational wealth. Did you know Coach was a rep? We would have no company if Coach was not a rep, people. This is so serious. So don't count yourself out when you're saying, oh, I'm not a builder. Yes, you are. You can build anything that you really, really, really put your heart to. That you really, really, really put your heart to. It's not hard. Like the lady that called me up yesterday, who we had shared this with a few years ago, and she called us up, and I just walked her through who the company is. I talked about Coach Tomer's story with his mom and all that because those people are in ministry. And I said, this is what the tool represents. Now you can take the tool and you can harness the wealth back into your own closet, into your own legacy of your life and whatever you want to touch in your family because you're huge in that influence. But the price that I don't want anybody to miss this because they keep saying, oh, I can't do that, I can't do that. If he hadn't done it, we would not be. So just think on these things. And then let the one who woke me up just said, they keep talking about, oh, this is a business. And I wrote this down. It's in my journal right now, 4:something in the morning. He said, this is life. This is life. What you are doing is so emotionally moving people's lives in hope. The people that you have touched and have touched way outside of the company, way, way, way outside of the company, just in the norm of who every one of us are, is real life. And you keep also saying, oh, I'm not in ministry. He said, you've been in ministry ever since you've been born. Ever since you could open your mouth. Do you understand you were giving life to somebody ever since you've been here? I'm telling you, if you would just wait and listen. But see, you won't catch that unless you get up early. Because he said to me, you hear me because you hear me because you wake early. And I was like, whoa. I said, do I have to wake this early though? I'm just saying. But he says but you can hear me. And then all this whole download of names, situations, and people. He says, people need our help. And if you deny what I have put in you, you are going to hurt a lot of people because you keep denying what I have put in you, individually and corporately.
Chantel?
Yes, sir.
You know, if it wasn't for what Rick and Brenda shared, Glenn and I, and opening the door for us to do what they do, before I became part of this team, First 365 and go team get, we I had the chance when I started helping missions churches to send mission groups to different countries. And I was asked to help send. They went to not do as tourists. They went into the back wilderness of Cuba. And one of the couples took in several cases of Spanish New Testament Gideon Bibles. We had a whole orphanage that got New Testament live version Bibles. And the director opened the Bible and she cried because in 25 years she'd never had a Bible in her hands. You know, that goes back to Rick Reese got a message to say, hey, get a hold of Ryan. And I get a message to go get a hold of Rick. We connected. And out of that connection, those kids, God's kingdom, the work that I promised that I would serve, and I would build. We went to the four corners of the world, taking that to a communist country where it was illegal to own a Bible because of Surge, and we were able to do that, and we're still doing that.
You know, the business is born through service. You know, the business is born through service. And that's one of the things that is interesting. Somebody go ahead and mute your phone so we don't get the feedback. Unless you get ready to talk. Mute your phone so we don't get the feedback. We're getting somebody's feedback. And but the business is born through service. And a lot of it, like you're saying, Chantel, is, you know, the spiritual relation for the believers and trusting in that spiritual relation. And many times the growth of the business is a reflection of that relationship and the trusting and getting information and getting the confidence with the information that you get, knowing that this is divinely led and provided. You know, everything I can tell you, and we have believers on this call, everything I'm doing has nothing to do with anything natural. It has everything to do with me getting information and having the courage to do and to walk and to say and to be and to live out, you know, the information that I receive, you know, from the Lord, you know, to be that voice, to be the hands. And if it's something that I don't know, knowing that it'll be provided. And like Chantel was saying, getting that information as a download. But that becomes a trusting relationship. You know, that becomes, you know, God's hands extended in this world without limitation. One of the things, and as I was talking earlier about Brenda and I, when we first started in the company, we didn't like to speak. You know, like, we got what? We didn't like to work with people. We would come to conferences, and the Lord had blessed us so much that we were like the top earner, one of the top earners at Surge 365, but we had people that took care of the team. And so we would come to.
We had people that liked the spotlight.
They liked the spotlight, and we let them have it. And so we're sitting in the back. We get tired of them talking. It's like, let's go get lunch.
Yeah, let's
we
go
we
now.
took off and got lunch because they liked the spotlight. They had the team, and they was building the business. But that was even spiritual. I said, Lord, send me people who know how to do this. And I'll take on the responsibility to learn it if you can download the information to me to understand it. Now I can teach it. And the people that come, I can give it to them who know how to do the other things, even like network marketing and working with people and da-da-da-da. And so Brenda and I, we had one of the largest teams, and we had no responsibility, no accountability. We just lived our lives. And it taught me that in obedience, you know, with the information and the responsibility to share and to serve, you know, in that trusting relationship, knowing that it's not you, you know, it's God working through you, you know, so, and to override fear. And so at some point, you know, we had to actually step up when everybody was doing this, that, rats would jump in the ship and this was going over here. That was, Brenda and I said, okay, the leaders left, the team stayed. I guess it's now our turn. We began to lead. We began to speak. Brenda became a speaker. I became a speaker. We started taking responsibility for the team. We all go through seasons in life. You're never behind. But with the understanding and the awareness of where you are right now, you have a responsibility to go to that next level if you're willing to serve. And when I was reading back on Coach and the things that Coach was doing, I was listening to the story and life of Mary Kay and how she began her business, the Mary Kay business. It's the same message, serving other people, loving other people, making them feel like they're the very best and special and giving them confidence. All great leaders do that, and the business follows. Back to you, Brenda. Brenda, you on mute?
Yeah, I was enjoying outdoors on the patio, and I know I couldn't mute. The weather was blowing high. But that is so true, how when you sit back and you look at where we've come from and how we've done what we did, because we had some bright shiners, man. They just loved being in front of the people and talking. And to the point where folks thought they brought us in. And we just sat back and let them have it. It's like, oh, no, that's not how it went, but it's all good. Because there's a time for everything. And that was not the time for us to want the spotlight. There was more than enough people fighting for the spotlight. And like you said, Rick, when it came time, we said, okay, we got to do this because we still have a team that want to know what's going on and should we jump ship too. It's like, no. We're going to fight through this. We're going to make this happen. As long as the doors are open, we're going to be here working. As long as the, coach was there, we're going to be here. And I really feel the same thing with Chris, that we're going to be here, because when someone's willing to do all that he did to keep the doors open, you do not abandon ship. And throughout the years, we've seen where other doors for different things have opened and they've closed. They've opened and they've closed. And then people are standing on the outside, I feel, wishing that they never jumped ship. But once you make that move, it's on you. And that's why we decided to stay put, and we were blessed in a financial way where we didn't have to go seeking. I think that's what happens to a lot of people too. They're caught up. Life has hit them. And now it's like, where's the next shiny pin? Where's the next shiny penny? Because I got to get out. I got to go to where the next shiny penny is because this one's a little dull. But I really feel that if you stay put and you plant your feet firm and you say that I'm not going anywhere, this is the best thing since sliced bread. We are in the fourth quarter, some of us. And like Chancel said, some of us are coming up on it, and it's like it's hands down. It's like, let's do this.
And Brenda,
and that means sharing. Yes, go right ahead.
I was going to say, this is a commitment, and Chantel and Glenn talk about this a lot, to generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
This is not work of business. This is a commitment to creating generational wealth in this window post-COVID. Now everybody wants to travel, and having the perfect travel tool to override the return of travel. This is the time when millionaires and billionaires are created. Like back in the Roaring '20s. You heard Glenn talk about the Roaring '20s. The other Roaring '20s, we're in the Roaring '20s now of today, but there was the other Roaring '20s, when everything was just going great in New York City and things was happening in the United States, things was moving and grooving. And it was the Roaring '20s, millionaires were being made. There was prosperity. Things, the happy days are here again. That's where we are right now, regardless of what you see. The opportunity for entrepreneurs remain the same. If you follow the masses, of course, you're going to be broke. But when you follow the opportunity and are able to see through what the masses don't see and get out of the frequency of the masses and get into the frequency of providing a solution as an entrepreneur to a world now that wants to travel, you're staying focused while they get distracted to do the things that are necessary, so that on the other side of it, your outcome is totally different because you're a totally different person on a totally different frequency. That's why we say now is the time to learn your business. And now I can say, if you study the GoTeamGet.com website, it's going to break out each product, and you can take time on each one to look at it, to study it, to go into your back office and to become that person that can share with a confidence because I was trying to share in the beginning without looking at anything. I was like, Lord, can you just put it in my mind? I don't want to look at nothing. I don't want to read nothing. Can you just download it to me? And, and the Lord said, Rick, you have to give me something to multiply. Hold the loaves up, present the loaves, and I'll multiply the loaves. You give me air, I got nothing to work with. Now I can do it, but you have a responsibility. So I said, oh, okay, let me read something. If you're listening to me, go to goteamget.com. Take a responsibility that you are the CEO of a multi-gazillion dollar company and to create generational wealth for your children's children. Don't leave your children's children out in the cold when you have a window of opportunity, man. And that's what Coach presented to me. He said, Rick, you're going to be okay. I'm looking at creating something for he's talking to me. I'm looking at creating something for your children's children. I'm like, okay. My daughter, they don't have kids yet, but now my son's got a kid. The children's children. Take a moment and look at your grandkids, your family, your nieces, your nephews, knowing that you, Joseph, have been chosen as the remnant to run wealth, generational family wealth through. Even if your 10 brothers try to kill you, yeah, you have been chosen. Man, that gets deep, doesn't it? Back to you, Brenda.
Yeah, that's true. Anybody else?
Brenda,
What's, go ahead.
I'd like to share a perspective as you were talking about the generational wealth. I kind of like to put a little curve on that, and I've been calling it, and I found it to be very receptive, calling it generational prosperity. And I had a pastor compliment me because he said, we've had more people come and talk to us about making money, but you talked about generational prosperity, and we realized what you're talking about. It is money, of course, but it's more than that. It really is a depth of relationship. And boy, oh boy, that really caught my attention. And then from that day forward, I've always liked to use the term generational prosperity
That's good.
because it really puts such an in-depth, real core with something really we can pass on. And I love that, it's residual and it's renewing. And don't we just love the renewing of the spirit and every
Man,
one
that's
of us?
good, Ron.
That's what every Thursday does for me. It's a renewal of my spirit every week.
Amen. Me too. Me too.
Absolutely.
Chantel, did you want to share?
I was just thinking about, don't miss this moment. Don't miss this moment. This is so important for everybody here. There is a reason why you are here. And maybe you tapped into, seed time and harvest is real. And that's why he wouldn't let Rick take off at the beginning. You didn't have any seed in the game yet. You didn't seeds have to go in the ground. And then, if a gardener or farmers or ranchers or those, I think they would pretty much understand what we're talking about, because you have to go through a process of the toiling of the land and all that, which I'm just now getting into understanding. But you're going through this process whether you like it or not, no matter how long it takes. So if the coach calls the play and somebody runs the play, guess what? They'll end up over there in Costa Rica. It's called a leader, but the leaders you're already a leader. That's just the title that a company's putting, but you are already the leader. Just stand up and say, hey, I'm here. What can I do to serve somebody today? And it doesn't have to be this huge, flamboyant. One of the things Rick just called to play, the coach called to play, goteamget.com. How many people are going to get up in here and go up in that website today and do that play that he just called? So many times, and this is what I treasure, and I know we're going to get some of this from Dr. Coakley too. What an experience we're having, but Coach, we have this is so precious to me, and I've been sending some of this to Glenn and Rick and Brenda, because Coach Tomer sat down in his chair and made videos for us personally. Every time you hit a bonus in his company, he down personally. Do you know the work? The sacrifice. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, the sacrifice. Do you know how much work that was? That somebody had to sit there with him and record this and then send it out to the company who had to send it to us. That is a lot of work, people. That's what a builder does, though. When we're talking about the generational wealth, generational prosperity, and some, you just have to take that tool that he gave you and open it up, open your hands. And the person that is supposed to receive this, the organizations, the communities that are screaming and hollering, and you're in the room, sooner or later, they're going to look around and say, oh, so-and-so's in the room. What you in here for me today? That's the bottom line. They're going to be able to now, he's going to open their eyes and they're going to say, oh my goodness, we've been sitting here with you for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. You know what? I need to raise $60,000. Can you help me? And when the man comes and brings you the tool, say yes. Say yes. That is the prayer I'm praying right now, that Father will open their eyes, because they have the need. We got the tool. What they have desired up, we have it all. It's already in place. Been here for years and years and years. Years and years and years, coaching them, built a financial giant, should we say. And that's why the other company, if I'm right, I do not believe any other company owns their own booking engine. Am I right on that?
That's trying to compete with us.
Yep, that's true.
Because they really can't compete with us for real, though.
That's trying.
I was listening to the great debaters, and there's a clip, and I must find it. And it says, you remember that movie where they had those children in there with that debate team?
Oh yeah, the great debate.
There is no, if they had this, he had them on this boat, and they had this one thing. And he says, I don't have any competition. Anyway, I'm going to find that today. That's in me. I got to find that, and I'm going to put it out there, because he's like, nobody can compete against you. Because apples to apples and oranges to oranges, they don't have anything close to what we have here.
Well, my whole thing was, nobody competes with me because I create. What you see I do, you don't see anywhere else, because it's a creation. And when you ask the Lord, Father, show me, he says, don't compete. Compete levels you to the playing field. But when you create, it hasn't been done before. You don't see a site out there like Team Get, or hear what we're talking about like Team Get, a marketplace ministry, because I asked for creation. We don't compete, we create. The other thing that I learned that separated me from anyone else is an understanding that you grow to your own level of competency. I'm like, okay, I don't want to learn anything. And then it's like, well, you grow to your own level and attract to your own level of competency. Okay, let me learn to learn. When I look at people, they're being attracted. The people that they attract are to their level of competency. Now, we have an open card in the beginning that we don't know. But over the years, if a person is still attracting the same thing, it's a mirror. It's who they are. It's not who the people are. I'm a living proof. I'm attracting to the level of competency and the confidence in the level of competency that I have, which is beyond professional. But I've grown here. I didn't start here. I wasn't born here. But when I began to understand how things really work, how I can go into the community and study the previous company to a level of competency, and guess who shows up? The people at that level. and even higher. If I can learn more and rehearse more, and these are affirmations, these are visions, your vision will be fulfilled. People will show up to your level of competency, regardless if you say a word to them. Regardless, your vision causes movement in your life. And so when I learned that, I'm like, you know what? Okay, let me understand to understand. And like Chantel said, getting up in the morning and praying and getting information, that's downloaded that nobody else has because you are the leader. It's we as leaders are getting information that we're doing. None of this is coming from us. This is God information that we're doing on earth, real time, to go ahead and to be that example of service, to be that example of love, and to be responsible for God's money. Like Ron says all the time, stewardship, to be responsible for the stewardship of his people, without regard to, oh my gosh, I'm afraid. Are we afraid? Yeah, do it afraid. And watch what happens. When you see us come down to Charleston from Colorado, we're stepping into a whole nother level of competency and accountability. And even in Charleston, these people aren't even here. They're showing up. They're saying, hey, Rick, can you do this? Can you help me do this? And can you help me move money? Can you help me do this? Not even Surge, but even Surge, Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street. I happen to be the deputy to the office of the president for Black Wall Street. How did I get here? Only your father, I know. And they want to do the vortex and using my vortex as a corporate sponsor. They want 1,000. They want 1,000 affiliates to help generate, Ron, you said it, generational prosperity. Through service, you move forward. Through service, through understanding your business, your level of competency, you move forward. The bottom line, we're controlling all of this. And the only question to whether it's Black Wall Street, whether it's Surge, whether it's all these people that want to start businesses, all these people that want help, the only question is, how may I serve you? Back to you, Wendy.
All righty. Anybody else? Wow. Guys, we always have great conversations. Boy, that hour seems to always go by so fast. It always seems to go by so fast. But a lot of information is always packed in those hours. Everybody, go check out that new GoTeamGet.com. It is a great way to say that, to remember it, like you're doing a cheer. Woo-hoo, GoTeamGet.com. Go check that out. I think Rick did a great job of organizing things and making it easy for folks who don't like to read, so you can pretty much go through the slides to see, oh, that's it. I want to learn more about that. So everybody because it's all about podcasts for some reason. So everybody who wants to just listen, it's right there for you to listen. If you want to scan through it, if you want to get information and know where to go in your back office to get information, more information, I think it's really great because we want to make sure that everything is duplicatable. We want to make sure that if someone comes in the business and they want to run faster than you're running, that they have the tools to do it. Because a lot of times that can happen. Somebody wants to move faster, somebody wants to have a certain amount of goals and they want to set it and it might not be in line with yours. And then it's almost like, well, you need to do this. No. It's all right there. It's making everything duplicatable so folks can get in and run at their own speed on what they want to do and how they want to do it. They want to build group crews, whatever you want to do, it's all right there. It's really up to you. That's, so there's no competition. It's you. You are your own competition. How much you want to learn, how fast you want to move, it's all up to you. And when you run into folks who just want transmanity, it's right there for them. So I think what we have to do is just know what we have, learn our tools, mind your business. And I was thinking about that because mine is, look, I'm looking at time, because mine is your mind. So you can mine with your mind, your business. And then also mine means mining. Remember when they would mine for gold? So you could also mine by digging in and
Good.
learning and finding all the nuggets that you have in your business. So you could take mine however you want, but just make sure you mine your business in whichever way is comfortable to you.
Hello, Brenda.
Righty. Anybody else? Yes, go right ahead.
I last week on Charles Nicholson's Zoom on Thursday, he created a video which compares your travel club membership with surge in the wholesale travel club membership with those who have the timeshare. And then it tells, if you're talking to someone that has a timeshare, it tells them how they can convert it by becoming a member of Surge, and it will be inclusive. So I posted that video on the messenger page for our group. I would go in there and take a look at it because it's very thorough and it's very good, and it answers a lot of questions. Second of all, of course, it's Thursday night, so Ambassador Director Charles Nicholson will be doing his Zoom presentation at 6 p.m. Pacific this evening. And then shout out to Chantel, of course, this is her birthday month, but it's her birthday weekend for real. And if you know her story, she celebrates birthdays and she does it for all of those in her life, you know, that are no longer here. They have transitioned. And I think that's what was given to me, that she celebrates. I find a way, I think I shared it a few weeks ago, about find a reason to get motivation and something positive out of everything that happens in your life. No matter what the circumstances, find that golden nugget and use it for motivation. Back to you, Brenda. Happy birthday, Chantel.
That's true. Happy birthday, Chantel.
Happy birthday, Chantel.
Woo-hoo. Have fun. Have fun.
Happy birthday.
All righty.
Happy birthday, Chantel.
Happy birthday.
We're going to be celebrating this
Happy birthday.
weekend. Look, we might not be together, but we're going to be celebrating.
All the
Alrighty.
Day World Cruise, Chantel and
last
Glenn.
night. Wow.
I know. Yeah.
We love
Have
you
a
guys.
great day.
Hey, y'all have fun on
All
your
right, love
50
you
Day
too.
World
Hey.
Cruise.
Oh man, I know. I saw that. It's on now. Matter of fact, it started at 2:00 to be talking about it. But you guys know what I love to say. We are the most trusted travel team in Surge 365. We are winners. Everybody jump on that training.
We're winners.
And have a great rest of your day. We'll be seeing you guys on the mountains
Thank
and the
you.
beaches of the world. All right.
Adios.
Happy birthday, hon.
Happy
Okay,
birthday.
bye-bye.